I know a lot of the bigger YouTubers already did a review on this, but whatever, I'm doing it anyway. So why the hell should someone who owns so many Apple devices be interested in this new Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 4 or the Flip 4 phones? And when it comes to the Fold, why spend so much money on a smartphone when you can get a decent tablet for that money? Also, can such a device even fit in an Apple ecosystem? Or maybe even replace it? Well, the answer to that is yes and no. Let me explain what I mean. I'm Alex and I do down-to-earth tech videos. If you missed it, earlier this week Samsung just released their new wave of foldable devices, and there's something really interesting, to me anyway, when it comes to the foldable phones. I caved and purchased my first foldable phone. I got the beige one, by the way, yes. But should you get a foldable phone? Well, let's address the first question first, which was, why the heck should someone be interested in these new foldable phones? Especially if they're in the Apple ecosystem, be it the Z Fold 4 or the Flip 4. By the way, I'm not even going to pretend here, even though I own and use a few Android devices. You know, I've used this one before. I've got the Samsung, the S22 Ultra, the Tab S8 Ultra. I'm what some people could probably call an Apple fanboy. And frankly, I really wished that the whole Android versus Apple wasn't a thing, but it exists and I'm not going to be the one trying to fight that. It's not to say that I love everything that Apple or Samsung or Google does. I do have some beef with all of them, to be honest. But first and foremost, I'm a tech enthusiast and I run this tech channel for you, so mostly to help people like you who might not be sure whether or not to get a new product. And I love that. I love trying things out and comparing them because that makes me a better reviewer and makes me more useful to you. Going back to the question though, to me it comes down to innovation. When I see a product like the Galaxy Fold and the Flip being released, now in their third generation now, it feels to me like they've reached a certain level of maturity and they have definitely improved now. Time will tell, of course, and you can expect me to cover all the details in my reviews, but from what I can tell so far, lots of the previous issues seem to have been ironed out. The bezels on the Fold 4 are thinner now, the hinge has a new mechanism, so Samsung really packed a lot of improvements, which is great to see. And to my previous point, I'm a tech enthusiast first and foremost, and I love when companies try to break the mold a little bit, you know? Apple used to be like that. Now to me, I do consider myself a loyal Apple customer, but it feels a bit like they're constantly playing safe and are becoming a little bit boring, to be honest with you. But you know, they're extremely profitable and a lot of people still think that their products are awesome. And I hope that even the Apple fans out there would agree with me with this one, that it's been a while, especially in the smartphone area, since we've been wowed by something that Apple did. Comment with the heart on fire emoji if you agree with me on this one. Or if you don't agree, use the no emoji and let me know why as well. But that ultimately is why I get excited when I see innovation and more striking designs like the beautiful Tab S8 Ultra here, the incredible Google Pixel 6 Pro as well, which I love, or one of my favorite smartphones ever, not just, you know, in recent years, but ever, the S21 Ultra. Well, I say I get excited about smartphones. What I mean is, as far as the current devices go, right, I really do think that we'd better start looking at different form factors soon, something that we don't have to carry in our hands, like a rectangular object. That's for another video. The downside of choosing an Android device as an Apple user is the ecosystem. But let me just play devil's advocate here because I have switched before. And it was difficult, you know, to get used to certain things like not having AirDrop, especially when I'm using a MacBook Pro. And to be perfectly honest, my iPhone at the time, it was the 12 Pro Max, was still in the house. I just wasn't using it as my main phone, but for transparency, I'd still had the phone there in case I needed to transfer something quickly. This S21 Ultra was my main phone for most of 2021, from February or wherever it was launched, all the way till the 13 was launched. But what I found was that the whole ecosystem thing can definitely be overplayed sometimes. Most of the apps that I use on a day-to-day basis are just as good on an Android device as they are on the iOS. Sure, there are many arguments we could have here, but performance-wise, and you can show me benchmarks till the cows come home, but for me, even though this was the kind of inferior Exynos 2100, it was just as fast as the iPhone 12 Pro Max, and frankly, still an amazing device. In fact, I prefer it to this one. I just really haven't got on with the S22 Ultra. In my personal use case, when it comes to smartphones, what I really value is the ergonomics, even as I'm holding this here. It just feels right. I love my iPhone to bits, but the display on the Samsung is simply badass, as they say. Which brings me to a potential downside with the Fold. Sounds like I'm contradicting myself here, that is ergonomics, and then I buy a device that is like a foldable, awkward thing. And I don't want to watch any reviews until I get my own and touch it and feel it. So just bear that in mind. I haven't actually watched any reviews, but I'll be honest, that form factor is definitely worrying me. My first thoughts are, Maybe this is a device that you can do a lot of work on, like during the day or when you're traveling, but when you're chilling, it's mostly gonna be used more like a tablet, right? I don't know, it looks quite big. I already know it's not gonna be very convenient when I'm using it kind of, walking down the street or taking the dog for a walk or something like that. But indoors, or at a desk or traveling, that's going to be quite good, I think, for the multitasking purposes and the ability to write on it, of course. And the other thing that kind of worries me is the battery life as well, but we shall see on that one. I will be reviewing mine here, of course. So if you like my stuff, make sure you are subscribed so that you don't miss out on that review. I have some accessories lined up for it too, which I'm genuinely excited for. Now, the elephant in the room. It costs a lot of money for a smartphone. I mean, for that sort of price, you could go for something like the Sony Xperia, right? If you want one of the most incredible feature-rich devices out there. One of my viewers, Lee, that's probably one of his favorite devices. I've been really tempted by it for a long time. Or you could go for a tablet like the iPad Pro or even the iPad Air 5, which to me is a better buy money-wise, and still have some change after that. And I'm not gonna lie, the price on the Fold was the major blocker for me previously, which is why I never got the first two. And I don't know why, but I remember thinking it was way too much money for what it was. The technology was quite new. It was 128 gig, I think, when it came out. It was sort of unproven tech, as they say. So I didn't feel like taking the risk then. But now, with it being more mature, more polished, I mean, it looks fantastic, right? I went for the beige one, like I said, and it looks really, really cool for me. And I was watching the launch event. Samsung are saying that they have fine-tuned it and basically fixed a few issues with it too, like improving the hinge system, like I said, and making the bezels thinner, hiding the camera better. And Samsung are doing what they do best, in my view, which is allowing people to bundle the products as well and get them in a discounted price. I wish Apple would do that as well when they launch new products. It's really hard to get any money back from Apple or have any deals, right? So looking at it objectively, taking everything into consideration, I think right now it makes a lot more sense to me anyway to get the Fold. You have essentially 3 displays that you can use in so many clever ways. I honestly don't think that I am the target market for the Fold, but man, that looks like a gorgeous phone. And it's gonna be really useful as well for work, for multitasking. I really wanna try that out. I know the S Pen on the Tab S8 Ultra is something really, really cool that I really like. So yes, the moral of the story, as an Apple fanboy, as they say, I caved in and I ordered the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 4. YouTube reckons you're gonna like this video over here, and I created this playlist here for you, which I think you'll like as well. Don't forget to click on my smiling face if you liked my video and subscribe for more. Hope to see you soon.